is our conversation for tonight. Tonight on our Trading Topic Tuesdays. Let me fix my camera here. Trading Topic Tuesdays, we will go in and talk about our trading, especially with the psychological behind it, right? The psychology behind it. Um, Excited we put this awesome conversation piece or content for our members here in Hawaii Trading Academy. And let me go dive into my share screen. You guys can see that, right?
Yup.
Trading Topic Tuesday, Flow State Trading. This is part 3 of our mini series, Trading Psychology. Part 1 was Resiliency, the capacity to withstand, to recover quickly from difficult conditions. Part 2, develop a winning attitude in the market. If you keep blaming the market, victim mentality, that's not a winning attitude. You gotta learn how to own it. And we close off this mini series with trading in the flow state, what it is. We're going to be talking about the basics on what it is, how it's important, how does it relate to us, how does it relate to ourselves in trading, how it has in common with professional athletes. Little do you know, we compare ourselves to professionals out there. Because trading is not an easy job. I'll tell you that. So what is the flow state? What is we're going to use the terms flow state, trading in the zone, getting in the zone. They essentially, we're kind of using it as the same meaning. It's where you're deeply focused on something and nothing can bother you. You're at one with the task at hand. You're in the zone, right? Like, I think it's a state. Yeah, Reed, it's a state.
Yeah. It's a state, not an emotion. It's a state.
Yeah. And so there's these 4 points that we gathered through our material and learning. 4 points that kind of highlight what the trading in the flow is, right? To trade without fear and overconfidence, to perceive what the market is offering from its perspective, stay completely focused in the now opportunity flow, spontaneously enter the zone with a strong, unshakable feeling and uncertain outcome with an edge in your favor. Those 4 points kind of embody the whole idea or whole state of being in the zone right there. So you screenshot this, write it down if you're watching this on the recording. So how does it affect your trading? Why is it important to get into the flow state? More profit, right? Who could use more profit? Everybody.
Everyone.
Less losses. You protect yourself, you protect your capital. Allows you to make better decisions. Better decisions in a trading day, trading month, week. You get to see more opportunities. If you aren't clear-minded, you might be missing potential winners for yourselves. Avoid being married to the positions, meaning you're able to cut your losses fast, quick. If you're accepting, if the market is turning against you, you have you won't hesitate to honor your stop or just immediately close a position because it doesn't feel right, because you are aware of that. And so this graphic we're using on the right side is kind of a visual of like where the flow state is, where the flow zone is. You have boredom on the bottom right corner, you have it high anxiety at the top left. Flow state's that happy medium, that it's a little bit of both, but you are in control because the market is uncertain, right? A lot of people, when they deal with uncertain times, what happens? We all know. We see in our friends and family, they go anxiety mode. They go berserk, right? They're like, oh, what's this? Because simply they don't know. And unless people have that crystal ball in front of them in the markets, they won't they'll most likely react anxious, and that is a normal human condition, man. And if you're used to losing a lot of money, you're gonna get bored. That's dangerous too.
And quit.
And
You're gonna get
quit.
bored and quit.
So, good question that came up while we were putting this together. Do you have to always be in the zone when we're trading? No. But the closer you are to that frame of mind, the higher probability you have of making the better decisions at the given time. That's a straightforward answer. So you don't have to be in the zone all the time, right? So I guess you want to go over this one, Reed? Just summarize this. What is
Yeah, we'll
happening?
summarize it. So there's a biological reasoning behind flow state of how we actually activate the flow state biologically, and it's all but just a bunch of chemicals and electric signals. This meat bag that we're in. And so there are 5 chemicals that induce flow state. And now we know that through neuroscience. And so the neurotransmitters, which is, in our brain, the 5 major chemicals are dopamine, and dopamine essentially it increases your attention or heighten awareness, and it boosts your skill that you've already have. uh, Norepinephrine. This speeds up the heart rate, muscle tension, respiration. And basically, what happens is our attention, similar to it increases our attention. It helps us control ourselves a little bit better because we're so heightened and focused. The next slide, a lot of us heard of this one, endorphins. So endorphins, what is the function similar to opioids? From my understanding, endorphins just basically makes you feel good, and usually get that from working out. That's primarily how I know endorphins.
Mm.
So moving on to anandamide, stemming from the Sanskrit word bliss. It has similar feelings of like feel good. It helps you feel good. It elevates your mood. It stabilizes you, and that stabilization keeps you in that flow. So you're not fluctuating low or high. You're in that flow, kind of like that graph we showed.
Yeah.
And then finally, this is probably one of the most popular ones, serotonin. And at the end, it's like an afterglow effect. Like you feel really good, you feel relief. So the way I put this in trading wise, this all it's like a layer, right? All of them are happening one after the other. At the 5th stage, which is serotonin, the way this relates to the market is you place a trade and you could walk away without worrying. That's essentially the afterglow. Or, you just let the market play out and let it take profit. And you're like, oh, I left so much on the table, or I could have got more. You're just leaving it, let the trade be. And that's essentially you just traded with flow. You just entered the flow state. So it is biologically backed, science backed, that our bodies produce these chemicals that can help us ease our brain waves.
Just so good. Shout out to neuroscience. Trust the science. No.
Yes, trust the science.
So what is the opposite of trading in the zone slash flow, right? We've shared this in our previous ones. The trading sins. For example, like revenge trading, gambling, trading on emotions, fear of missing out, making a decision without a clear mind, trading on tilt, poker term, and anxious, right? Those are the opposite, and I see a lot of people that's just a thing that a lot of beginning traders go through, and they have to get over that hump. They're gonna get over that hump. We were both there ourselves when we first started out. This is very familiar territory, and so we acknowledge what it is for ourselves. We know where it parks in our mind, and what you want to do when to get in the zone is to like know that you're avoiding that part and just paying attention to the market, taking in the actual what it is now, being in the moment, right? So another question as you're going through this topic specifically, like ever have that gut feeling sometimes, like you can't explain it, but when you made the decision it was the right thing to do, right? That's called intuition. Some coin it as different names. If you're a spiritual person, maybe it's God's voice, or it's just that inkling, that light bulb that came on. Intuition, right? So there, I copied this part from Market Wizards, and I'm just gonna read the last line where it says the trick is to differentiate between what you want to happen, what you know will happen. And so through intuition, that's where, if you've already been going through your trading journey, you put in the screen time, you will develop this type of intuition for yourself where you will know, like you'll have those moments in the market, you're analyzing it, and then you'll know, like you'll make a decision just like that. But you can't really explain it. It may not be in your trading rules per se, because not everyone has a intuition clause, you know what I mean? So I was just sharing with Reed the other week, one of our trades, I was in the NQ. I didn't pull up
I'll
the
pull it up.
let me go pull it up. Let me see if I can find it. What I was doing, I was trading the NASDAQ, and as I was already running profits. I think it was this time right here. Let me try sharing my screen. Sorry. So I was holding a position in the NASDAQ. I was long biased. This is a 1 hour chart. I believe it was somewhere over here, but I was already running profit here. I was catching this swing move here. And it was either Monday night before we went to sleep. I saw the market starting to the volume went down, very small price moves here. And for me, right when I saw that, I immediately closed some of my positions to go get profit, and then had moved up my stop and let the rest of the positions run. And I went to sleep. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is something normally I don't do, but I just had that inkling, that feeling, right? And so I already rolled that move up, a little bit of consolidation sideways action on that day, and I still had a position, but I took profit. But the next morning I woke up, boom. I don't know what happened, right? Immediate swift drop. Early in the morning. This was 3 in the morning Hawaii Standard Time. I don't know what happened, but I already collected profit, and it probably got stopped out of my last position back here or something. But it took me completely out. Now, I'm not saying this is something I can always repeat, right? But I just had that feeling, that intuition, because I did go through, I did my analysis, I did the chart time, I did the screen time, and over the years I've developed this eye, would you say, for
Skill.
price action. Yeah, skill, I guess you could call it skill, right? And anyone can develop this as long as you put in the time, the work effort, and be consistent in your actions. You can get to that. Anyone can. That's where you'll hear all these people go on the news or on those, money networks, MSNBC, whatever. They'll call, oh, this is the top, right? And some of them are actually right, because maybe they've already done their homework. They done their analysis, and they had that intuition feeling. So let's get back to our share screen. Well, you know what? Maybe how about like, have you thought of a moment where you had some intuition read? Like, not even outside of trading, not
Honest.
even in trading, like even in life, dude.
Oh, goodness. I'm sure I have. Just not a profound moment can
Mm,
stick out to me right now.
yeah.
Um, but coming back to trading, I just wanted to be clear for our listeners right now is intuition is it's a feeling. It's like a gut feeling, right? But it sounds contradictory because we started this off with getting in the flow or trading the zone. It's not any it's not a feeling. So we just want to really be tread carefully when we're talking about trading with intuition, or I guess a more technical term is
Mm,
discretionary term, discretionary traders. You want to be like 99% mechanical in trading because
right.
that helps eliminate emotions. Emotions will be your downfall if you do trade that way all the time. Glenn knows what he's doing. He's smart. He's done the time, So make sure you guys are putting in the time and that you're not just saying, "Oh, this is my intuition. This is my intuition. This is my intuition." Don't use it as an excuse, but like yeah, it happens. Like like there's just something like I don't like the way this chart looks, and then you just close it, and then boom, something magical happens, or you
I
just
lo-
saved a lot of money. So
Thank you for
May I add
clarifying.
to that, guys?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys
Go for it.
both brought a great point. I mean, intuition really comes from experience and seeing thousands upon thousands of charts, and putting in thousands of hours. Now, the problem with most newer traders is that they're in it for a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a year, and they're more into wishing than having intuition. As I'll say, and there's a big difference. And as these guys mentioned too, after seeing so many different chart patterns or charts in general, you develop this thing where you can just look at it and you're like, man, this doesn't look right. Something I
mm-hmm.
can't explain it, but it just doesn't look. It doesn't have the look, you know. And that just comes with time. Comes with time. It takes several years, but you have to go through your charts. You have to go through whatever it is you're trading. You have to, as I say, repetition is the mother of mastery, and with mastery comes intuition. You have no business trying to have intuition or think you have intuition if you just started off, a few months or a few years of that, right? But yeah, great points, guys. Many points right there.
Well said,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for that.
Well
Yeah,
said.
I like
Let me
it.
jump back into my share screen. Yep, to close off that intuition part, knowing when to break the rules, only experience will let you know. So just to add on what was Reed was saying with clarifying, like we can't tell you how to ma- get how to make your own intuition, how to trade off your intuition. Like you have to develop that yourself. You have to know when to implement it in your trading system. It's really key. Create that solid foundation first, and then use your discretionary. Very small percentage, but know when to use it. Don't relate on it. Rely on it. So timing the markets beats timing the markets. So keep that there. Use that as a reminder, people. So I want to talk about we jump to intuition as we're in a flow state. That's already when you're in it, right? Let's rewind that before leading up to the five chemicals of your body generates when you're actually in the zone. Let's wind it up before that. So I got this from this excerpt from Tim Grover's book Winning. He's the coach. He was a coach for Michael Jordan, personal coach, Dwayne Wade, and Kobe. And he wrote in this part. He was describing what Michael Jordan did leading up to the game day. Say he had a game day at 6 p.m. His everything he did from the night before in the morning. It's all strategically placed. And so, real key routine, part of his routine, let me just read this part. Part of Jordan's routine was to lace his shoes before every game, fresh out of the box. The ritual had a special meaning to him. Every time he did it, he could remember that feeling of being a kid getting new shoes, and it took him to a place that prepared him mentally for the game, and it helped him put in the zone. So that right there, that small little window, that environment you create for yourself, Jordan knew how to do that. He knew how to tap in to almost turn on his game face, his zone, right? And I don't know what that looks like for everyone, but we're gonna share some of the things that we do to help get us into the zone. But this was a really good piece that I read, and I wanted to share that with everyone because even though it seems so minuscule, it impacted Jordan so deep. Another quote from Market Wizards: in trading, just as archery, whenever there is effort, force, straining, struggling, or trying, it's wrong. You're out of sync. You're out of harmony with the market. The perfect trade is the one that requires no effort. I have to write down which Market Wizard said that, but that right there, man. Forcing the trades. Oh, hint, that'll be one of our upcoming topics, yeah, forcing the trade. So that's a key quote I want to say. So we want to share what we found, what we gathered between Reed and I on how to make it easier to get to the flow state, right? Simple things that everyone can do. You don't have to be a professional athlete. You don't have to be the top guy. Anyone can do this, right? How to set you want to just set yourself up to make the best decision in the current time, right? How do we do that? So you set up your environment. Have it, maybe you gotta declutter your desk before you actually start working. Make sure it's quiet. Or if you want noise, make sure there's noise. If you want music, background music, go ahead. Put on your favorite diffuser, man. Pumpkin spices season is here, right? Minimize distractions. Become aware of your current state or emotion. So that you can do that by journaling. Just have a little notepad. Be like, before you start your trading or whatever, had a rough day today, or just finished working out. Oh, I'm super bloated. I shouldn't have ate that extra pancake. And then you can add a breathing exercise. Now, we were just talking in the beginning of this meeting, this topic about Wim Hof. Awesome people, awesome resources out there, because breathing has proved scientifically that it can alter your state of your body for the better.
To create those chemicals that we talked about. The breathing exercises could help create those 5 chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Reminding yourself that it's just the market and yourself. You got to understand that the market has no emotion. It will do what it will do. It won't listen to what we have to say, no matter what our opinions are. And let's have a continuation. So you want to go over this, Reed?
Yeah. So how to make it easier to get into the flow state? We got that little visual. No worry, beef curry. It's a common saying in Hawaii. It's like it's easy, like no worries. So that's part of the flow state. So we approach the market with the neutral bias. We don't worry what the market's going to do. To confirm if you're in the flow state, a trading, execution, analyzing, and management, it should all come really easy according to your plan. The entries or lack of pop out to you easier. When you're in the flow, you know how the market should look like and what the market is doing. There's no debating if there is a position or not. You're not constantly going back to the same pair like pound dollar, and you're going back and forth every hour, every 15 minutes looking for an entry. It'll pop out to you when you're in the flow state. If you're in a trade or you are looking for opportunities and you're not in one yet, but like you're itching, when you feel that itch, a good way to resolve that is get the body moving. Go exercise, clear your mind, come back to the charts. And then if that didn't work, clear the charts, start it all over, And in the end, as we started this, you no worry, beef curry. Like leave the trading desk free and clear, whether it's a win or a loss, or if you're not even in the market yet and you're wanting to just let the market develop, let the market pop out to you and just continue your life as normal. So anything else you got to add, Glenn?
That's yeah, very good. So those are some key points that people can implement right away on what to look for, right? Because this whole point, this whole presentation, this whole conversation is about introducing the flow state and then setting ourselves up to be most successful with it, right? How to reach it, what does it do to our bodies, and how does it affect our trading. And so trading in the flow state, it's a flow. The flow state is dependent on the individual, right? Like going back to Michael Jordan, whenever you saw him charge the paint with his tongue out, you know stuff about to happen. He was in the zone, right?
Yeah.
When Mike Tyson go and bite some ears off, you know he was in the zone.
Was he?
No, no. but um it all depends. People are gonna have their own way of reaching it. There's no one specific way. It's just we want to help you guys increase your chances of reaching it. And we provided this little visual that we found, the 4 cycles of flow state for athletes. So you have the struggle phase. A lot of people start there. When you're training hard, you're feeling extreme frustration, tension, stress, and anxiety. Then you have the release phase. So the sleep, resting, recuperating from your training. Then you have the actual flow state where you're in the sweet spot, the optimum performance in whatever you're doing, whether it be work, or whether it be grocery shopping, whatever, driving. You could be in the flow state. And then you have a recovery phase where you have to reset. You have to rest your body, let yourself rejuvenate, and then go through it again. But at the end of the day, you're going to become better. And that is the goal we're going for, is to become a little bit better than we were yesterday, last week, last month, last year. And to wind down this conversation, we got, what is it, September now? September
14th.
It's September already. Year's creeping up. So, these are one of the things that let's continue to truck on. If it's this whole flow state is new to you guys, if you're watching this on the recording, try to implement it. Don't wait for New Year's resolution. Don't wait for it.
Now.
Start now. Give yourself 90 days. Give yourself before the holidays, because once that happens, everyone goes in cruise control and nothing gets done. Literally, yeah.
Yep.
Speaking from personal
markets will
experience.
slow down too.
Markets will slow down, right? So, that kind of wraps up our flow state. We've gone over what it is, kind of defined it, how it affects our body, how to set yourself up, what is not flow state trading, right? FOMO, revenge trading, how to develop, how that people have routines that help them lead to being in the flow state. And we've listed points on how to set yourself up environmentally, your surroundings, to get there, to reach that peak. And I hope people can get value of this and use it right away.